As they host Texas, and Mark McGwire, 3 games in a row now, he's homered. Game tied at 1. Throw in what he did in the home run derby. He's had about 40 home runs in the last 5 days. Game tied at 2, third inning, bases loaded. Oliver facing Geronimo Barroa down the line and fair. 2 runs come in, 4-2 A's. They get 3 in the inning. 5th inning, Matt Whiteside, Terry Steinbach. Oh, look out, huh? 10 men trot to the plate in the inning, 4-run score, 6-2 A's. And during the All-Star break, Harold gave some dancing lessons.
Hey.
8-3 the final score. I didn't say you gave them to him. A's even their career home record against the Rangers. They're now 82-82. Pudge Rodriguez, 4 for 5 in the loss. Juan Gonzalez, a double in the game. Now.
Bottom of the second, Mickey Tettleton has a special delivery deep to right center, number 16 of the year for Tettleton. Rangers took a 1-0 lead.
Sputtering a bit over the last week.
Terry Steinbach facing Roger Paddock. He could do nothing with that pitch. Paddock rolls along with a no-no through 3. Top third. Elster is first. Mark McLemore deposits a ball over the left center field wall. That's 3-0 Texas. Still 3-0. Juan Gonzalez puts one out of the park. Rangers up 4-0. After an Elster home run, Pavlik working on a 6-0 shutout until Mark McGwire ruins all the fun with a blast of the zone, a shot out of the ballpark, his 30th homer. Doesn't matter, though. Rangers cruise to victory. Pavlik pitched 3-hit baseball for 8 innings, and his teammates jacked 4 homers to beat the A's.
For at first, Alex Rodriguez has just left the yard. His 20th on the year, 2-0 M's. Bottom of the 5th, tied at 4, Scott Brocious on second, Mark McGwire at the plate.
Well hit to left field.
2-run homer off Sterling Hitchcock. 6-4 A's.
By baseball.
Bottom of the 6th, bases loaded. Rafael Carmona pitching for the Mariners, or at least trying to. Mike Bordick, base knock, 7-4 A's. Damon Mashore mashes this one. Jason Giambi, 8-4 A's. Rafael Bornigal. Ernie Young comes in. Scott Brocious, base knock. Brings in Mike Bordick and Damon Mashore. 11-4 A's. Oakland wins by the final of 12-5.
They're only 7.5 games behind the Rangers. As Oakland catcher Terry Steinbach says, we've been written off as a team that would be lucky to win 60 games, but we play hard. The A's and Rangers from Arlington, Mark McGwire. Juan Gonzalez going to have a good game? Yeah. You going to have a good game? Yeah. Top of the 4th, Rangers leading 3-1. Run on second, McGwire. There it goes, 32nd of the year, and we're tied at 3. Bottom of the 4th, A's up 5-3. Here's Gonzalez, and it's going. And it's going to stay fair, and it's gone. 26th homer of the year for Gonzalez. He's now hit in 21 straight games. Top of the 5th, McGwire again. His 33rd homer on the year. Deepest part of the ballpark, and the A's are up by the score of 7-4. Bottom of the 7th, A's up 9-6. A runner on second. He didn't want the souvenir. No. 2 outs. And Kurt Stillwell singles to right. Mark McLemore, here he comes. And we have a developing situation. McLemore out at the plate. A's hold on to the 9-6 lead. Bottom 9, 2 outs. Billy Taylor on for the save. Stillwell ring him up, sit him down. And the A's go on to win by the score of 9-6. 3 homers in the game for Oakland. They lead the majors with 154 homers. They're on pace to break the major league record of in Texas. The A's and Rangers. Top of the 2nd, Mark McGwire facing Bobby Witt. And Mark McGwire, his major league leading 34th home run, 3rd in 2 days, 69th in his last 153 games. 1-0 A's. The Rangers slugger, Juan Gonzalez, the other player to carry a 21-game hit streak into Saturday, no more. He goes 0 for 4 and snaps it. Bottom of the 6th, Warren Newsom on 3rd in a tie game at 4. Darrell Hamilton was on 1st as Todd Van Poppel uncorked the wild pitch. And when Warren Newsom's called safe, Van Poppel pops off at the home plate umpire, but Todd, no one calls time. Darrell goes all the way to 3rd from 1st, and Todd throws it away. So Darrell will go all the way from 1st to home, and Todd Van Poppel looks like he's got egg on his face. He didn't really have egg on his face, Dave.
No, he didn't.
Juan Gonzalez, no, not at all. The other player with a 21-game hit streak now gone, and ironically, he was the only Ranger not to get a hit in this game. The Oakland 4-game win streak, history. Their franchise record of homering in straight games.
McGwire has 5 hits against the Rangers. 4 of them are home runs, and he may have another one. Way back goes Newsom. It's up, and it's gone. Another home run for McGwire, this time to right field. Number 34 for the year, number 311 lifetime. And McGwire now has homered against the Rangers in 3 of his last 4 at-bats.
And here's Mark McGwire. He was caught looking. Fastball, outer half. As he takes that one low. I'll tell you a guy that, if his hips all right, is going to be a big factor in this tournament. Is J.C. Sneed.
Yeah, he's always there, too.
J.C., I'll tell you, he's been playing great the last 2 years. There's a good strike on the outside corner.
That's going to be a fun tournament.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I like those senior events better than regular.
Uh-oh. Mark McGwire now has 5 hits off Alex.
Oh, my goodness.
And 4 of them have left the park, and this game is tied at 1. There's a gigantic shot.
That's about 5 rows from the top, just to the left of center. Well, he is absolutely amazing. 35. We talked about Sammy Sosa's 2 homers today. That gave him 34. McGwire takes over the major league lead again. 69 runs batted in. Oh, my goodness. Well, about
that extension.
Yeah.
Watch his head. No movement. As that ball hit deep. And it's 2-1 Oakland. Baroa. So the last 6 runs the Athletics have scored in the last 2 days have all come with 2 outs.
And no cheapies right there. Well, you mentioned the swing of McGwire just a second ago, Hawk. It looked like his head actually went a little bit backwards as Baroa hits his 25th, and he...
A 5th starter before the game.
1-2
A's played some defense. Rafael Bornegal dives, throws from his knees, and gets Dave Martinez. Top of the 4th, A's trailing 1-0, and not anymore. Mark McGwire, in most ferocious fashion, 458 feet, longest by a Sox opponent in the new Comiskey. He's got 35 homers, leads the majors tied at 1, and unfortunately for the good guys, it was the other team putting them on the board. Terry Steinbach, the bases loaded, his 24th homer of the year, 8th career grand slam. And the A's win this game by the final of 8-4. Athletics are officially on fire. They've won 3 straight, 7 of 8. They're only 5.5 games behind Texas, and now 3.5 games behind the wild card leading Sox.
So here's Mark McGwire. He skied a couple of them this afternoon. One to right, one to center. 0 for 2.
And that is a fair ball. Out on the concourse. A 2-run homer for McGwire. Whoa.
Oakland now leads it 5-1. Homer number 36 and RBI 70 and 71. Oh, boy. He got a breaking ball, a hanger, and look how far he hits it. Oh, my goodness. That's scary. Steinbach lifts this one to right field. Get foul. It does. Boy, did he clear his hips. He stayed back, cleared that front shoulder, stayed closed. And watch him just clear these hips.
He's awesome. He is. That's in that new era cap corner back there.
Yeah, oh yeah, right there by the only thing you could hope for is if it went foul, it probably is on display right now.
Well, there's been 4 things that happened in this inning. He walked the leadoff hitter, made the bad pitch to Bordy. He made an error himself on Herrera, and he hung one to McGwire.
Yep, and has paid the maximum price.
Yep.
And that's what's been happening in this ball club lately. Boy. Another breaking ball misses.
It's a long way here.
See where it lands. Oh, boy. Man, out on the concourse. There's a fly ball to shallow center. Darren Lewis coming on, makes the catch, and that'll do it. But 2-run homers for Oakland in the 5th inning, and halfway home, the good guys are trailing by 4.
It's 5-1 Oakland, and Mark McGwire just got done hitting a 470-foot homer, a 2-run shot. Mike Bordick also with a 2-run homer in that inning. So 3 long ones for Oakland. And take another look at McGwire's tremendous shot. Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, you hang a breaking ball to him, and you will pay. He's got the best extension through the ball of any home run hitter I've ever seen. Mantle had great extension through these. But McGwire, that's the best you'll ever see. Extending through the ball, just like it was almost sitting on his teeth. Yeah. He made that look too easy, didn't he?
1 A's, Mark McGwire facing James Baldwin, dial 8. Bash this, my brother, according to the SportsCenter tape measure, 470 feet,
Cannot give in to him.
36 for McGwire. 5-1 A's. After Chicago fought back to tie it at 5, top of 8, Scott Brocious goes shopping at the gap in right center. They pinch run for McGwire in the run score, so it was a good idea, 6-5. Bottom of 8, same score. Harold Baines with 2 on. He rips it, but Jason Giambi, who replaced McGwire at first, robs him. So 3 cheers for Art Howe for pinch running for McGwire. Unless, of course, the White Sox would have scored and tied the game, in which case talk shows would have ripped them all day long. A's hang on and win it 6-5, marks their first 3-game sweep of the White Sox in Chicago since July of 1970. The A's have won 8 of their last 9, and needless to say, McGwire's 36 Tates lead the major leagues. So let's hear it from Mark.
Home runs are not easy to hit. You know, I think that's the thing. When you get on a roll like this, people think it's an easy task to do. It's not. I mean, it's not easy to see pitches to hit day in and day out. You got to be patient. You got to be selective. And if you can take advantage of what a pitcher gives you, you might have that chance that day.
We've relaxed the dress code for SportsCenter interviews. If you were on the Roger Maris patrol, you'll be interested to know that as of July 24, 1961, Maris had the very same 36 home runs that McGwire has now. The only catch being that at this point in 61, Maris had 71 games left to play. Mark McGwire has only 6 left on his schedule.
Just the way they like it these days. They do not play in a high-altitude ballpark. The pitchers they face aren't any worse than the rest of the league. Yet the Oakland A's have been hitting home runs at a pace that would suggest that if the ball itself is not juiced, Oakland opponents might want to be that way by the time the game is over. The A's have gone deep in 20 straight games now and appear to be on pace to shatter the record for most home runs in a season. McGwire and Steinbach and company taking on the Blue Jays tonight, top of first, no score. There's the aforementioned Steinbach, and it appears that he's done it again. Deep to left field. Looks like a home run. Watch it hit the pole, hook around it, but they rule it foul. No score. Where's the justice? We flash back now to 1989, Game 4. Remember when Jose Canseco was an A in Skydome, crushing Mike Flanagan's pitch into the 5th deck in Skydome. Canseco bashes Mark McGwire as he crosses the plate. Now let's flash back forward. The bashee is the basher. How many decks is that? 3, 4, up into the 5th. Same spot and even a little bit longer. 488 feet. His 37th prodigious, to say the least. We go now to bottom of 9. 2 outs, A's up by 1. Joe Carter, a man who himself knows a thing or two about hitting clutch home runs in that building, and by gum, he's done it again against young Jay Witasek. And the Blue Jays come from behind to win the game. Carter's game winner coming one day after he got a contract extension to end till the end of next season. At 488 feet, McGwire's league-leading 37th Jones was said by some to be the longest in Skydome history. And after the game, he spoke about it.
Oh, it's just one of those things where when you hit it, you know you hit it. And that's really about it. But I don't sit back and admire those things. I just run around the bases and, hey, get ready for the next at bat. I've never, in my whole career, I've never ever stood at home plate and watched a home run. You know, the thing is, I have respect for the pitcher out there, you know, and there's just something that I've never done, and I never will do it.
As Mark told Gary at the All-Star game, it gets harder and harder to hit home runs as the season goes along. During April and May, he hits one every 11.6 at-bats. In the last 3 months of the season, that is down to every 13.3 at-bats, though he has hit 26 Tates since June 1st of this year. Moving on, Rangers and White Sox.
In Skydome, Mark McGwire rested as the A's met Juan Guzman. A's up 1-0 in the first. Geronimo Baroja jacks into one. Otis Nixon goes to the wall, sizes it up, There's one A's home run that won't go. A spectacular grab as well. The A's had a 3-2 lead behind Guzman. Young this time deep in the hole. Alex Gonzalez. What a play. Then Guzman comes out. Mark McGwire hadn't started the game because he was 0 for 11 against Guzman. No such problem against Paul Quantrill, one of the most generous gopher ball pitchers in the majors. Home run number 38 for McGwire. The A's weren't done. It was a 3-all game in the ninth. Young the other way off Tony Castillo, and the A's continue on their pace to break the Yankees team record for homers in the season, and McGwire didn't start the game, comes in, takes a cut, home run number 38. He's homered in 4 straight games. The A's have homered in 22 straight. That's 3 shy of the all-time mark held by the Yankees, the year of Joe DiMaggio's streak, and also the 1994 Tigers.
Opened or where the team might be if the pitching staff did not have an ERA of 5.29. Mark McGwire, Terry Steinbach and company have hit at least 1 home run in each of the last 21 games they've played. And as they make a run at the all-time single-season record, we take a closer look at these peak performers and where exactly that power is coming from.
You got to be patient. You got to be selective, and if you can take advantage of what a pitcher gives you, you might have that chance that day. Everybody's talking about how the team's hitting home runs. We have guys on the team that put good swings on the ball.
And he hits this one a mile. Steinbach scorches this one. Here's a long one.
And anytime you can put a good swing on the ball, you have a chance. You get a base hit, double, whatever it may be. Home runs are not easy to hit. My job is to put a good swing on the ball, try to hit the ball hard. If it leaves the ballpark, it leaves the ballpark.
One of the longest home runs hit in this ballpark, and it's number 37 for the Major League leader, Mark McGwire.
Peak performers.
Good swings on the club, and they don't try to overswing. They have nice, easy swings, and they get a good pitch to hit. Lately, it's been a little less to it, and the balls are leaving the ballpark. I think I'm playing on a lot more powerful teams, especially looking-wise, in the heydays when I first broke in. But I'll tell you what, we got some guys on how to swing the bat.
Well, this is a hypothetical question, but if you could play 162 games injury-free, give me a number. Give me a number. Give me an area. Give me a range.
No, I don't like doing that. I'll let you do it. But I would love to play 162. You know, I've been dealt with some things and have to deal with them, but I'll tell you what, I'm a stronger person because of it.
All right. So, Joe, then you give us a number. How many would he hit if he played the whole year?
Well, I think he'd probably average over 50, and he would probably come close to Roger Maris's record every year. I don't want to say he'd break it, but he'd come close.
All right. Now, McGwire's got a few other...
The conversation is brought to you by Sprint, one source for all the ways you communicate.
Before sitting out last week's 3-game set with the White Sox, Mark McGwire had homered in 20 consecutive series. Back in 1961, when Roger Maris hit 61 homers, he homered in 14 straight series. In our Sunday conversation, McGwire talks to Peter Gammons about chasing Maris, athletes living up to their word, and the difference between fearing a pitcher and respecting one.
This season, now that we've all started talking about you and Roger Maris, is that something you can avoid thinking about?
Right now, yeah. I think you can avoid it until you get to 50 home runs by September. I've said it all along. Until somebody, whoever it may be, there's a lot of candidates for that right now. Until you get to 50, I don't really think you can really even talk about it because people talk about Maris so much, but they don't talk about there's only been a dozen guys that get to 50. You know, to get to 50 is a milestone.
Have you thought at all about how you would approach it if you got past 50 and all of a sudden you had the huge media crush?
I think I would probably do something that what Cal Ripken would do, or did, when he was doing his outstanding games played. I would definitely have to do that one time in, do the media thing, take care of all the questions right there. I don't know how many times people want to ask. I don't know what you'd want to talk about. You know, it's only one thing. It's a home run. And it's a tough thing to do. And that's one thing is when you get in a groove of hitting home runs, you hear it all the time from people, hit a home run for me, hit a home run here. It's not easy. It's a tough thing to do. And sometimes it looks easy, but it's not.
Go back to the one in Chicago, the second one, when you hit one out and almost into the street. How much fun is it, or do you even enjoy it?
Well, I always enjoy hitting home runs. I mean, I really believe that's what I'm here to do. When the ball hits the bat, you know it's gone. I like it, but I'll never stand at home plate and watch it. I've never done it in my career, and I never will. I don't like players to do that. I just don't. You have to respect the pitcher. And I respect them. I don't fear any pitcher out there, but I respect them. And I just don't think it's good sportsmanship to hit a home run, stand there, and admire it. I'll hit it. I know I hit it, but I'll just keep running around the bases. Reggie Jackson told me my rookie year, the faster you get around the bases, the faster they forget about you. And I've always kept that in the back of my mind.
At the end of last year, all the players leaving, the manager leaving, did you think at all about asking to be traded?
No, I'm not that type of player. I would never. And I don't like players that sign contracts and say, hey, I want to renegotiate, or hey, I want to trade. I just don't like it. When you sign that dotted line, you sign that contract for that team in that given time, and you play it out. That's the way it is. I mean, I don't really care for what's going on in the NBA, and I don't care for any baseball player or football player that signs a contract and wants to renegotiate. I just think you sign that dotted line, you stay here. You don't rock the boat. You know, there's a reason why you sign at that given time. Play it out.
Going back again to those great teams in the late 80s, early 90s, did you just figure that, hey, the Bash Brothers thing was something that was going to pass and you'd never be able to be in something like that again?
The thing is I don't think we really knew how good we were. I mean, I remember the one time it was sort of disappointing in myself. I think the third year that we won in a row, and we won the American League West in Kansas City. And I remember we won the game, and nobody ran out on the field. It's like guys walked out on the field. And I think right there, that was the year that I really realized, you know what? I think a lot of guys took things for granted for what we had. And I sort of regret that, because right now, I want to get back there. And as far as I'm concerned, as being a leader of this ball club, I won't let that happen. I won't let anybody walk out on the field when you win the American League West. But I'll tell you what, I'm having a better time this year than I did the times when I had the championship year, because it's almost like people expected us to win. You know, here nobody expects us to win, and we're going out there and showing people what we can do with no expectations at all.
Sunday Conversation was brought to you by Sprint, one source for all the ways you communicate.
Two homers have come in 92 games. McGwire's missed 30 of the Oakland contest this year, yet he still has a chance to break 50. Never mind thinking about the Maris mark. In tonight's breakdown, with 40 games to go, what shot does Mark have at the mark?
God, maybe I am a home run hitter.
He was the fastest ever to the 40 home run mark.
I like that low ball. I sure in the hell don't try to hit home runs.
The A's have 40 games left. If Mark McGwire plays all 40, he'll have about 160 at-bats. To tie Roger Maris's record of 61 homers and using 160 at-bats as our center point, McGwire needs to hit a homer every 8.4 at-bats. If that sounds like a lot, consider this season McGwire's averaging a homer every 7.1 at-bats.
Until you get to 50, I don't really think you can really even talk about it, because people talk about Maris so much, but they don't talk about there's only been a dozen guys that get to 50. You know, to get to 50 is a milestone. I think until someone gets to 50 by September, then you can start talking about Roger Maris.
The remaining schedule is in McGwire's favor if you consider his career success. True, he has no games left against Detroit, the team he's tattooed for the most dingers during his career. But he has 6 games left against Boston and 8 against Baltimore, teams number 2 and 3 on the McGwire hit list. McGwire is hoping Jim Abbott comes back from Vancouver, Mark Langston returns from the DL, and he catches the O's Scott Erickson and the Yankees' Kenny Rogers. And despite that memorable blast against the Blue Jays, McGwire has just 16 career homers against them. But no worries, the A's don't play them the rest of the way. Also on McGwire's side, his home ballpark. Oakland has 23 of its last 40 games at home. That's key considering the changes to Oakland Stadium in the offseason. While enclosing the stadium, left and right center field gaps were reduced 13 feet, from 375 to 362 feet. A direct result has been the gigantic increase in home runs hit by the A's in their own friendly confines. They have already obliterated the team record for 4 baggers at home with still a month and a half left in the season. Finally, as the chase wears on, McGwire's going to have to deal with added pressure from fans and the media. That's a challenge McGwire is ready to handle.
I think it's good for Mark McGwire because I played, this is my 10th year with the Oakland A's. I played behind a lot of big-name players, and I wasn't really, quote, the guy to look at. And I think this year might be the year that Mark McGwire might be looked at.
Well, even if McGwire does make a run at Roger, he has he has a very legit shot to hit 53 homers. That would be 11 more, and that would be the best home run season since Maris is 61. To paraphrase McGwire, get to 51st, then we'll look ahead. What's he doing tonight? Nothing. He's sitting tonight. The A's say he's just getting a day off, and it has nothing to do with the fact that he's hitting 177 career against Mike Mussina, who's pitching for Baltimore.
Think about Mark McGwire's 42 home runs now in 91 games. Kind of makes your head hurt to think of how many he might have had he not missed 30 games thanks to injury. Then again, maybe it's a miracle McGwire has any home runs at all this year, given the dire shape his body was in not too long ago. Here's Peter Gammons.
One night, he bombed the longest home run ever hit in Comiskey Park. The next day, he hit one farther, out of Comiskey. And the night after that, in Toronto,
And now he just pounds one to left field. That is in the 5th deck.
We were talking about Jose's home run. We were sitting there going, yeah, where did that home run go? Because, I wasn't there. And he's like, yeah, it went about, 4 rows up, wherever it was at. And he's like, I said, I think you can beat that. I said, you can beat that. And he goes, I don't know. I'm not going to worry about that. And that night of the game, he ends up beating it.
I had no idea that I hit it in the 5th deck.
McGwire may not be the type to get into his own shows, but his teammates are. They love to watch him.
Everybody comes out to watch him take it. We all stand in the outfield, and even when we're playing in the game, everybody's on the bench. Nobody's in the clubhouse, or everybody wants to watch him hit. It's incredible.
He is a true example of a bona fide power hitter. His home runs are not just home runs; they're mammoth shots, towering shots. We're just amazed every time he hits them how far it goes.
When he's healthy, he's an incomparable player, and he does all the things that you'd want in an offensive player. He's on base. He hits the ball out of the ballpark. He's selective. And so he's a guy that can have a tremendous impact, even if he's hitting 230 or 240.
McGwire's patient approach is part of the enormous leadership shadow he casts over this young team.
And we preach on base percentage as much as we can here, and to see the main guy in your lineups not afraid to take a walk is very important. He leads in that way, and he's a great example for the younger players.
He's a tremendous influence in this ball club. Just his leadership and the things he's been through for 10 years. And, personally speaking myself, he's helped me out tremendously. Just hanging out with him, learning the things he knows, lifting weights with him, going and eat with him, He can afford those Ruth Chris, nights.
But it has not been an easy road to his status as the game's most prodigious home run hitter. The myriad of foot and back injuries have been well documented. But it was the scars of the metamorphosis of the kid who had 49 home runs as a rookie in 1987, who stood all the way to 201 4 years later, that has made McGwire the man he is today.
I had to have the guts to go in and ask Tony. I said, Tony, I need to have this day off because for me, psychologically, to hit under 200 would be demoralizing. When you hit 201, I think you better make some changes, definitely the lowest point of my career. I think the thing I did is I knew I needed to make changes in my life, my personal life, and my professional life. And what I did is I drove home on the I-5 down to Los Angeles. It's like 5.5 hours, and didn't turn on the radio. And I said, I thought about everything I needed to do in life. And I said I need to get some help. And I went and got some help. I started seeing a psychiatrist, started getting my mind back together, started getting my life back together. And then I started putting more effort into using the mind stuff that I was using from that psychologist into my baseball. And I think that's helped me out tremendously.
In contrast to that long drive away from the Coliseum 5 years ago, now McGwire relishes everything about his job.
I love it. Because this game it's between the ears. And I think I love it so much because I'm so strong mentally. I love driving to the ballpark, thinking about what I'm going to do, thinking about the pitcher I'm going to face.
I was driving home after the ball game thinking about the pitcher I'm going to face tomorrow and my idea of what I want to do.
And what he wants to do when he's finished.
I want to coach. People are going to say, well, why do you want to coach? You've been successful. I failed, too. Not many guys that are in my position have done what I've done. I've been on top, been on championship teams. I've home runs, home run rookie records, whatever. I've had 201s. Well, who cares about what kind of money I'm making? I love the game. I love to work with people, and I've really enjoyed working with the younger kids.
This is Peter Gammon, ESPN.
10 A's, each team hoping to reach 500. Mark McGwire, Geronimo Baroa, perhaps the new Bash brothers. Bottom one scoreless. McGwire, master of his domain. Boy, that one is a long way out. A 3-run shot is number 40. Fans are indeed keeping track. A's up 3-0. Next batter is Baroa. Megaditto of Rich Robertson. It was the very next pitch, in fact. Back-to-back homers, and Robertson says a ball's cute. A's going for that franchise record. They're up 4-0. Bottom three is 4-0 Oakland. 2 men on, and there he is, Baroa. That's number 28. That makes it 7-0 A's, and Oakland, much to the chagrin of Tom Kelly, closing in on that team record and looking as if they might get it in one night. Bottom six, it is McGwire again, still on a roll, and he was 3 for 3, 4 RBIs, and the A's up 10-0 in math majors. You too can get a job at the ballpark. Bottom eighth is 10-1 Oakland, and if you swing for home runs, look what happens. Nice swing and miss. But you swing smooth and easy, and eureka! Baroa's third homer of the game. Second time he's done that this season. He finished up 4 of 5, 5 RBIs. Oakland now 6 homers away from the franchise record. They go on to win it 11-1. Baroa, the 9th player ever to have 2-3 home run games in one season. Names like Teddy Ballgame, Stargell, and Kingman on the list. Johnny Mize did it twice. Cecil, the last to do it in 1990. Now, the A's have 193 homers, as you saw by that nifty poster, and they're on pace to break records set by the 61 Yankees of 240. Tom Kelly said, quote, trying to pitch in this park against them guys is a nightmare. When pitching against these guys is a nightmare. Same to the team on Tuesday night. Jason Giambi here in the 3rd inning. Flies to center. Rich Becker, great diving catch. Goes to second, doubles up, Ernie Young. First at bat now for McGwire against Rick Aguilera. Ring him up, sit him down. Second at bat for McGwire. Bring him up, sit him down. Third at bat for McGwire again against Aguilera in the 6th. 1 on. McGwire goes deep to left. Way back, his 42nd homer of the year. It's a 2-run shot. 2-1 in favor of Oakland. Tied at 2 now in the 8th. Pinch hitter Matt Wahlbeck grounds to short. Mike Bordick throws home. Paul Molitor safe. 3-2 Minnesota. Still in the 8th. 3-2 Twins. Matt Lawton with the bases loaded. Single to right. Ron Coomer comes in. Jose Herrera's throw to third is a dicey experience. Wow. 2 more runs come in, and the Twins go on to win by the score of 6-2. 7 innings and a...
There's a splitter that just comes back over the plate. And there's that normal swing of Mark McGwire.
Something funny? Well, it was the Orioles at the A's. Scott, with the califragilisticexpialidocious was at the core. First 4 A's batters reached on hits. Then, Terry Grace to Brad Steinbach, one of our favorite players. Gone. He has 30 home runs. 3rd Oakland player with 30 this year. Then, bottom of the 2nd, boom! Back. A 3-run shot for Brocious. He has 20. 7-0 A's. Then, Mark McGwire. Does he ever get cheated, Peter?
No. The only question is, can he hit 18 home runs the rest of the season? Can he stay healthy enough to do that?
43rd home run over the air off of this one, off of Esteban Yan. The A's win it 9-6.
And now they have 205 home runs as a team.
There have only been 3, and Mantles make 4. The others, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and longtime manager Miller Huggins, who was the first. His good buddy Whitey Ford doing the honors. The Mantles family on hand, Joe DiMaggio, and more than 50,000 fans to see it all. 1-0 Yankees, bottom of the second inning, when Andy Pettitte makes a mistake to Mark McGwire, and it's not coming back. His major league leading 44th home run ties this game. The Yankees trail 4-3 by the time we get to the bottom of the 8th. 2 outs for Tino Martinez, who launches a solo shot that ties the game, gets Pettitte off the hook, part of a no-decision day. But no relief from Jeff Nelson. Pinch hitter Matt Stairs, and that's gone. The solo shot breaks the tie. A's tack on another for insurance, but wouldn't need it. They hang on and win it 6-4. After the game, Mark McGwire, still caught up in the emotion of being in Yankee Stadium for Mickey Mantle Day, saying, if you don't get a little chill with what went on this afternoon, you don't belong playing this game. Well, McGwire belongs. His 4 RBIs helped the A's snap their 5-game losing streak, resulting in a 10-game jump in the AL East standings. Now off to Oakland as Boston goes for their 6th straight victory, and it's on Dave Tailgater. Getting it going early against Mo Vaughn. Mike Maddox also tough, striking out Mark McGwire with a big swing. Top 5, 2 on, 1 out. Preliminary. Hits into the 6-4 DP. Nice play by Mike Bordick. Mark McGwire on the pitch. Bottom 5. Man on third, 2 out. Mike Maddox walks. Irwin Moore. Next batter, Mike Bordick doubles the right field. Terry Steinbach and Moore score. 2-0 Oakland. Bottom 7. Oakland leads 5-0. Mark McGwire. Explosion to center field off Reggie Harris, number 45. 7-0 Oakland. Tailgater tough all night. Jeff Fry, what are you looking at? 7-0 Oakland. McGwire jacks his 45th homer and drives in 3 runs. That homer traveled 409 feet. The loss ended the Red...
Very high. Pretty deep. Number 45. He hit that one so high, it had to go out. Reggie Harris had a good curveball, but not all the time there in the 7th. As McGwire, a moon ball for number 45.
Watch this swing by McGwire. Head down, just a great swing.
A's. Tim Wakefield got the start tonight. Aaron Steele got pushed back so they could leave him on the DL and keep a roster spot open. And Wakefield didn't have the answer for Mark McGwire. McGwire crushed him for his 46th home run of the year. Then Tony Bautista, look where this ball lands. They call it fair. That will both in for a signal of score. Steinbach and Mike Bordick 4-0 A's, and then more long ball. Geronimo Baroja, his 35th home run of the year, a 3-run poke. That was in the 3rd, and then it was all Willie Adams, Harold.
Well, he came in. They had not seen him. He comes in throwing a fastball, slider. And look at this nasty split right there. But look what he does to Torrey O'Leary. Taking a little off that changeup. He kept him off balance and got himself a nice outing out of that.
Now the Red Sox have won 5.
Jose Offerman gets it. His throw is high, pulls Bob Hamlin off the back. Ooh! McGwire 250, Hamlin 235. Nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Geronimo Baroja scores on Offerman's error, 2-1 A's. McGwire, his head is bloody but unbowed. The hammer, Bob Hamlin, he's fine. McGwire up in the 7th. Booyah! Payback. Hitting .322 for average, hitting a 2-run blast. 47th homer of the year. RBI number 96 and 97. That put the A's up 6-1. They'd go on to win at 7-1. Of course, Big Red's 47 homers, a big league lead. Oakland wins for just the 6th time in their last 16 games. The Royals' Tom Goodwin sets his major league leading 62nd base. He stole his major league leading 62nd base. The A's just have 50 as a team. Jose Offerman.
Drives along the right. He's hit it well. Bentley will admire this one into the bleachers in right center field. McGwire has just belted home run number 47. 47 home runs this season for Mark McGwire. A 2-run shot here in the 7th, and the Athletics lead now is 6-1.
Top 4, it's 4-0 KC. Mike McFarland will pop it down the right field line. Mark McGwire, Mark McGwire, Mark McGwire, Mark McGwire. Great play. Bottom 5, 4-4 tie, 2 on for Jason Giambi. Single to right. McGwire comes in. Oakland's up by the score of 5-4. Bottom 7, 2 on for Mark McGwire. He crushed it. 3-run home run. McGwire's now got 48 home runs. The Big Mac attack, 48 and counting, as the A's win it by the score of 13-6. McGwire, by the way, now has 100 RBIs for the first time since 1992. Oakland.
His on-base percentage a whopping .472. Here's a fly ball to right. Well hit. Ramirez, a late start. Now looks up. It could be, and it is gone. Out of here. A big 2-run first inning home run for Mark McGwire. His 49th of the season. RBIs 101 and 102. And of course, 49 home runs, equaling McGwire's 49 home runs, an Oakland record back in 1987.
Based on his current production, McGwire would have 58 homers, 3 short of Roger Maris' mark with 14 games to go. As it is, McGwire has 48 jobs, still 2 away from becoming just the 13th man to reach 50. The A's in Pride, game 1 of a double dip. Charles Nagy, he's been going strong lately. That's number 49. 2-run job, Oakland leads 2-0, top of the first. 3-2 Tribe in the fourth. The bases are juiced for Kevin Seitzer, and Seitzer off Don Wengert, and everybody come around to score. First Alomar, then Vizquel. And when you see Vizquel, watch how closely Lofton will be right behind him. 6-2 Indians to the 8th. McGwire up with the bases loaded. Could number 50 be a grand slam against Nagy? No, sit on it, Posse. McGwire would have to wait for number 50, Nagy. Leading the Indians 9-2 the final. He gets his 4th straight win. Scattered 8 hits over 8, struck out 7. He's yielded just 5 earned runs in his last 33 2/3. Lowers his ERA to 3.33. Game 2, top of the first, 1 man on. We've seen this before. Mark McGwire, Eureka! That's number 50, a 2-run shot. He is indeed the 13th different player to hit 50 homers in 1 year. 2-0 Oakland. Tribe trails 6-5, 2 on for the last man to hit 50 before McGwire. Albert Bell lives large against Aaron Small. A 3-run job, number 46 for Albert. Cleveland led at that point 8-6. They would go on to win 9-8 and sweep the doubleheader. Now back to McGwire. In his rookie season of 87, he had 49 homers but missed the final game of the year to see the birth of his son, Matthew. McGwire said he'd see his son Monday and give him the ball he hit for number 50 this time. Always humble, McGwire's pretty psyched about the big 5-0.
Very self-gratifying, you know. I couldn't expect for anything like this to happen. No one's supposed to be ready till the All-Star break, and to even have the opportunity to hit 50 home runs is something special. People think home run hitting is easy. It's not. It's probably the hardest thing to do in any kind of sport.
Oakland in the 4th inning rallied to win, and they took over first place in the American League West. This may have been mentioned on the bench in the middle of the 5th on Sunday when the Mariners trailed Oakland by 10 at the Kingdome. Lou Piniella scores some runs out there. Top of the 5th, Mark McGwire takes the message. He hit the ball real hard off Bob Wolcott. That's number 51 this year. Oakland 6-3. We could hit 10 homers in the game and tie the record, right? The A's would bat around, leading 9-3, bases loaded. Same inning against Matt Wagner. That is a grand slam 481-footer. 52 homers, as many as anybody since Maris. Mays in 65, Foster in 77, McGwire in 96. But these are the A's. Brocious throws it away. Holland scores. Marzano scores. Now it's just 13-5. Oakland in the bottom of the 5th. 13-6 with Bone at bat. Jay Buhner slashes one into left field. Now Rodriguez will trot home 13-7. Sorrento then singles. It's 13-8. 2 batters later, Dave Hollins bats with the bases loaded again. Up the middle off your Mike Moeller. Buhner and Sorrento trot home, shown in your picture. Just like that, it's 13-10.
Billy Taylor, the veteran minor leaguer, closer, out all last year. Frozen pizza on Griffey to end this whole shebang. He retired 6 of the last 7 and was the hero of the day, at least in Texas. McGwire, meanwhile, the 30th player to hit 2 homers in 1 inning. 4 of them, 13% all-time.
Held him off the day before, but the very first batter against Terry Mulholland, who had won 4 of his last 5 starts. Joey Cora picks him up for not only doing it with the bat lately, but also a great glove work there to rob Tony Batista. Ken Griffey Jr., one of 5 Mariners to homer the night before. Gets a charge into this one. Geronimo Barroa and Ernie Young trying to send signals to each other, and neither got it, or the ball. Falls in. And then Edgar Martinez, another guy who homered on Saturday, put into right field. That'll score Griffey Martinez 101 RBIs now. Seattle on the rampage again. They're up 3-0 by the 3rd. Mulholland facing Barroa. Barroa inside out, one the other way. Young and Bordick cut it to a 1-run game. Still in the 3rd. Intentional walk, and I got to pitch to McGwire, but after he loaded the bases, his pitch gets away. John Marzano let it go by, and Batista scores the tying run. Bob Wolcott comes down with the bases loaded. Brian Lasher doubles off the wall. Steinbach and Burrow make it 5 3-8, and then Mark McGwire, who had not homered since last Saturday when he hit his 50th. A deep blast for number 51. A's lead 6-3. They continue to hit like the Mariners. Scott Spezio's first home run, a 3-run shot. And then Mark McGwire, with the bases loaded, you can't pitch around him. A grand slam. Nearly 500 feet later, he's got 2 in the game, 52 on the year. 13-3 Oakland. But it is Mariner baseball. Little chopper, they load the bases in the 5th. Brocious hurries it, throws it away. Marzano makes it an 8-run game. Still in the 5th, 13-6. Jay Buhner staring him down. Off Moeller. Knocks in Rodriguez. Suddenly gets 13-7. We're only halfway through the game. Paul Sorrento knocks in Martinez. Dave Holland at the plate. Pull it up the box. It's now a 13-10 game. A 7-run 5th inning. If the Mariners strike back, but they were within 3 runs and never got anything more. With a man aboard, the tying run, Mark Whitten pops it up to right. Barroa this time doesn't need to communicate with anyone. He hauls it in, and the Mariners come up 2 short. Billy Taylor pitched excellent relief, went right through the middle of that order, and then with the tying run at the plate, he got Whitten to pop it up, and so the win streak ends at 10 games. Could Texas make it matter?
Well, we're back underway, top of the 5th inning. Mark McGwire has just reached the upper deck in left field with a long home run. And the Athletics now lead by a score of 6-3. Mark McGwire's 51st home run of the season. And folks, there is no doubt about it. He becomes now the 8th player to reach the upper deck in left field in red. That's a little farther out toward left center field than some of the others we've seen. One deep to left field. This one is going and going into the upper deck one more time. That is the 2nd home run in this inning for Mark McGwire. The 2nd time he reaches the upper deck in left field. Holy smoke, a grand slam home run. The Athletics now lead by a score of 13-3. This guy can flat out launch him.
Heads do tend to turn for the truly monstrous home runs. Could this be the first one to the 3rd deck?
Dans ce ci il n'y avait pas d'équivoque.
There's a drive, deep right field. That ball is up and gone. Jim Thome unloads.
He gets into one and hits it deep to right. And this one is into the fountains and over. Look out. I think he's jacked one. Has he ever? He jacked it into the upper deck. That's a high smash ball to space. Down the left field line. Second deck.
And now
Now he just pounds one to left field. That is in the 5th deck.
When I hit balls and you hit them out, I'll start running, but you try to, my eyes are bad anyways, so you try to follow it, and sometimes I lose the ball.
Absolutely a monstrous blast. Some guy in Calgary just found it in his backyard.
When I got to third base, I just remember thinking, the fans here in Toronto are clapping for me. They're applauding me, and I'm thinking, why are they applauding me? And then I get in the dugout, and the guy says, you went in the 5th tank. And I said, you got to be kidding me. People out there think, well, God, home runs might be really easy. It's not. It's probably the hardest thing to do in sports today. You have to have a good time. This is our livelihood, but then again, this is our off time. And you get the serious time in the gym is usually during the winter. That's when you want to see the gains and you want to start. Here we're all out. We get up early in the morning and we get in here, get it done, and go home.
He hits the 2-1 pitch. It could be. This one will be way back. Oh, what a shot! This ball hit a mile high, way back in right center. Lofton back, looking up. Goodbye. A towering shot.
When you think about pure power hitters, it's Mark McGwire. The Babe Ruth of the 21st century.
Wow, okay. That's awesome. When you hear things from your peers, it makes you feel good. You have to learn how to use the mental psyche of this game, and that will keep you here for a long time.
And he hits one a ton.
My earlier career, I hear all the time, and people that give me baseball cards to sign, they go, God, you were skinny back in '87. Well, yeah, that's 10 plus years ago. Everybody looks different 10 years ago.
I'm a hard worker. I love to work, and I'm doing something I love to do.
I know I've exceeded my expectations as a young kid thinking about being in the major leagues.
I'm playing at Major League Baseball right now, and I can just call it Little League with a bunch of grown-ups. That's the way it is.
I guess you have to enjoy it while it goes, because, hey, you never know when you might not be there again. So there's millions of guys out there who love to play this game, so enjoy it while you have it.
When that scout that we, oh God, I'm not thinking today. You guys got me too early in the morning.
My name, my height, and my weight. Well, I didn't know if I had to put my team name for the Bob Hope. For the football Christmas, public administration.
And little relief. Oh, let's start that over again. That's ridiculous. This is all on tape, too. This is ridiculous.
Very impressive.
Oh, that's nice.
I didn't want to do that. They made me do it. I don't like doing it.
2 falls, 1 submission, or a knockdown. First, the logical arguments. All right, let's go.
If you use last season's winner, Mo Vaughn, who hit 39 homers, drove in 126 RBIs, then this season...
You cannot use him as your standard. Mo played an 144-game schedule last year. On top of that, 96 is the year of the juice ball, you may have noticed, and the inflated stats.
Even still, look at the numbers of the candidates. Mark McGwire, 52 homers so far, 113 RBIs, and he's missed 32 games.
Just stats. His team is in 4th place. We're talking about the most valuable player. So don't even mention Molitor or the Big Hurt or Mo this year. The MVP's team has to win something.
Okay, then how about Jim Thome or Juan Gonzalez? Both having MVP caliber seasons, both on first-place teams.
Thome deserves to be considered the tribe's most valuable, but he will not win the AL most valuable because Albert Bell, his teammate, has the better stats. And Gonzalez may have his team in first right now, but they have not won it just yet. Texas still can't shake them Mariners.
I was just presenting the options. Don't get huffy. Thanks for mentioning those, Seattle. You've steered the discussion right to my choice. 21-year-old MVP Alex Rodriguez, who is keeping the M's playoff hopes alive.
So is Ken Griffey. So is Jay Buhner.
True, but from the opening day on, A-Rod has been the M's spark. In fact, he had the game-winning RBI on opening day. When Griffey went down, they lost the big unit. It's always been Rodriguez. Just 15 errors. He's topped in the American League in average, doubles, and runs scored. Third in slugging, 36 homers, 209 hits. And he doesn't just hit, he hits in the clutch.
All right, Rodriguez is a legit choice, but you want clutch. I vote for Andy Pettitte of the Yankees. 21-8 record overall, but much more impressively, to date he is 13-3 in starts that followed Yankee defeats. 13-3. That may or may not be the Major League record, but it has to be close. And what is tougher in sports than to go out there and pitch a critical game, which all the Yankee games were this year for him, and do it after a loss and stop or prevent a losing streak in the process? It's the most valuable thing done in the American League this year.
Hold on. Aren't you the one who said over and over again that pitchers shouldn't even be eligible for the most valuable player award?
That was another Keith Olbermann, but they are eligible.
That is hypocritical. And another thing, just last month, didn't you tell me, privately, that the Yankees team MVP was Mariano Rivera? Now it's Pettitte? Complete hypocrisy.
That was MVP into August. He has not been the MVP since. And it's pragmatism. The author, Scott Fitzgerald, not Tom Fitzgerald of the Panthers, Scott Fitzgerald, born exactly 100 years ago today, by the way. Scott, not the old catcher Mike Fitzgerald. He said an artist is an individual who can hold two fundamentally conflicting opinions and still function.
Oh, pardon me, artist.
That's the first nice thing you've ever said about me. If you tell me the rules are only batters for MVP, I vote with you, Rodriguez. But I don't make the rules, neither do you. Pitchers are eligible, and as long as they are, I'd vote for Pettitte and Guidry in 1978 and Clemens in 1986.
I'll agree with you on the last two, but there's only one way to settle this argument. Just like the baseball writers do.
Food that has been cooked is devoid of enzymes.
You know, especially baseball, you play 7 months of the year. You play during the hottest part of the year. I need all the endurance I can get, and nothing seemed to work for me until I got the Juice Man. One drink that I love doing before I work out is carrot, spinach, parsley, and throwing a green apple there to sweeten it up a little bit. I mean, every time I go work out, I'm ready to go.